Many people struggle with learning to apply constraints. I think this is because they do not fully understand constraints and what we are trying to accomplish with them. Applying constraints means to limit or restrict movement. If we do not properly constrain our 2D geometry, when we attempt to turn it into 3D geometry, it will often do weird things and not become the object that we want. To properly constrain our data in Fusion, there are 3 types of constraints that we must apply. We have to tell the software the size of all sides of the object, the shape of the object, and where it is located. Without this information, turning drawings into 3D and attempting to assemble the parts will likely fail. To tell the software the size of the different sides of the objects, we use dimensional constraints. With dimensional constraints, we have to designate the size of all sides of the part. To control the shape of the object, we use geometrical constraints. With geometrical constraints, we apply constraints that restrict movement of the geometry of the 3D part so that it retains the shape that we specified. To tell the software where the object exists, since we have 3 separate planes, the XY plane, the XZ plane, and the YZ plane, the only place that all 3 planes intersect is at origin, which is sometimes known as 0, 0. We have to constrain our objects either to origin or reference them to origin for the software to be able to assemble the parts. The simplest way is to constrain the object to origin. When that is not possible, we can use dimensional constraints to tell the software where the object is in relation to origin. The simplest way to constrain a complex geometric object is to apply dimensional and geometric constraints as you are drawing it. Fusion will automatically add geometric constraints for you. They may or may not be the ones you need. So it is a good idea to learn to identify the different types of constraints and what they do to make sure that the ones you need are being applied correctly.